Hello, we're still back. It's 2 weeks in a row. We call that consistency. Uh, Thank you all for joining us. I am your DM, as always, Bjorn Anders, and this is everyone. Say hello, everyone.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Hi.
God.
And just very quick announcements to get into. Not Saturday tomorrow, but a week from that Saturday on the 29th. For anybody who is either up in the very northwest Washington area, or wants to be up in Conway at the Conway Muse, there is a little cabaret show happening, a Halloween themed one by the French Quarter Cabaret. I will be emceeing that. I will also be singing during it. We'll see how that goes. I have another voice lesson before any of the performances. So pray for me. We'll see how it goes. No, but that'll be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to working with this group for a long time. I guess not that long. They found it earlier this year. Whatever. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be spooky. And the Muse is it's a pretty cool little venue out there. So if you live or going to be near that area, check it out. And if it sold out before you get tickets, bummer for you, but yay, it sold out. So there you go. Anybody else have anything exciting or just in general to announce?
Well, I suppose the timing would be about right that Tanya and I will be heading out in a couple of days on our way to ye old England, where we are very much looking forward to participating in D&D in a castle. So yeah, we're gonna be having a good time there, getting 3 days of D&D DM'd by none other than Mark Meir. So
Nice.
Cool.
getting DM'd by Commander Shepard is going to be pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, well,
It's going to be so rad.
I am very excited for both of you on that.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
Anybody else have things? Okay, then I'll do the channel announcement. We have a Ko-fi up. So you can give us money to support us as a channel so we can get art and equipment and paying people to do the scheduling and stuff that I don't want to do anymore. It is ko-fi.com/dicejailers. You can support us for any amount that you want, or for specifically $5 a month, you can support us and get access to our Discord channel, where we have a bunch of different threads up for cracking jokes with the cast and asking the cast questions and wildly speculating with us as we pretend that we can imagine what Bjorn's going to do next. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And Nate will definitely always tell the truth.
He will tell what he thinks is the truth, which is just as exciting, to be honest.
I don't know why we're announcing that. I mean, that just is an implicit statement. It's Nate. That's what he does.
He is the most reliable narrator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is why they call him Admiral Honesty. I don't know who calls him that, but they do.
I always speak the truth. My Nate always lies. So you'll have to decide.
One Nate always tells the truth. Yes, one Nate always lies.
You have 3 questions.
You only get 1 question. 3 questions. What kind of rank amateur stuff is that? You get just the 1.
You should let me do the Ko-fi, whatever announcement going forward. I'm just going to do this. Money, please.
I mean, if you want to remember to do that announcement always, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, as long as you get the important information along with the money, please, that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Pohaku's feet are flat on the floor and he's staring straight ahead. He is not suspicious at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, that segues perfectly into where we last left off. You incredibly adept and just functioning like the well-oiled machine you are. You all have boarded a train, leaving Silent Gulch. Marshall Bicker accompanying you as you are on a bit of a heist mission. You've been instructed to get to the rear portion of this train to the office car where one high ranking census member, Castian Aloro, is almost definitely set up. Been informed he would definitely have a dossier of some sort explaining what his overall mission parameters were, thus finding out why did the census come up to the assemblage to investigate the Shimmerstone mine before the populace had any notion that there was an arcane reservoir there. This sat really uneasy with Marshall Bicker, and thus he hired you all for this job. Two of you have been placed in first class, two of you have been placed with standard passengers, and two of you who came aboard as posing as staff have already done a little pilfering and deceiving to get even more access to the train cars. We'll see how that all goes. The train itself has finished its journey from Silent Gulch to the city of Virtue, which lies within the Asharan Vale, outside the borders of the Vagabond assemblage. As we can see by Phoenix's beautiful shirt, a statement that was said last session by the Marshal of Hot Damn Tomato Bisque, as
Hot damn.
quite pleased with what he found in the dining car. The train arriving here at the station in Virtue, and whether you step out onto the platform or just looking out through the windows, you see this beautiful, sprawling elven city surrounded by the woods of the Asharan Vale. There are some towers that stretch up into the sky beyond the canopies of the trees, and you see all walks of individuals milling about. This is one of the largest cities that exists outside of the Empire. And this is also the city where the Treaty of Virtue, named after the city itself, was signed, that drew up not just the borders of what became the Vagabond assemblage, but also the agreements of how the Empire would not flex their might up there, as they have no actual jurisdiction. The elves of the Vale were the impartial third party that set this up. But as you step out onto the platform, or again, if you're staying aboard the train, looking about, Bicker steps out and takes himself a large breath of air. And before he can say anything to you, there is a voice that comes out over a speaker system, and you hear, um, "Yes, this is your conductor. Would like to inform everyone that this train will not be staying in Virtue for as long as was expected. Our journey is wished to be expedited. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. The layover here will only be for 1 hour. Uh, please get any business you need done in that time. We will be departing on time. Well, on time for our new time. Anyhow, there's work to be done. The train departs in an hour. Thank you."
What would the normal stopover time have been? So we're doing it for an hour. It would normally have been.
Normally it would have been. Normally it was gonna be about 6 hours.
So, oh, okay.
So I'm gonna say I'm on the platform too to stretch, get air, but not with Bicker. So I say in Bicker's head, census, you think?
Yeah, it seems not probable. My guess is that Castian's got his knickers in a twist about something that he wants to get either back to who he reports to or who he wants to question. He didn't seem right happy about all the goings on back at the mine and didn't seem to take this upright situation all kinds of kindly. I'm going to bet he did a bit of flexing, got things put ahead of schedule. That does throw a bit of a wrench into the works. I'm going to need to see if I can get word to, well, said part B of this plan, as now I don't know if they're going to be as distracted as we initially thought. It's inconvenient, but I might still be able to make something work. Keep your wits about you.
Siobhan responds by cursing in halfway.
And he is going to begin to mosey away.
Mosey away.
And you'll hear him say to you, Siobhan, don't want to draw no attention, but you see any of your cohorts. Wish them the best of luck for me.
Okay, thank you, Marshall.
Ohaku will make sure that before the marshal heads out, he does go and get some tomato bisque in a doggy bag from the dining car and make sure that he hands it over to him.
Oh,
Bag of soup, right? Like,
I mean, it's a magic world. It could work. And just make sure to stay well fed. It's important, you know.
Yeah,
You're
no,
looking
no.
a little skinny there.
No, I appreciate you looking out for me. And oh, that's the good stuff. Yeah, no, I'll be right sure. I take good. You take care of yourself, there, Esquire.
All that I'm
I don't
thinking
think I
now,
actually have a hat, but he does it anyway.
all that I'm seeing now is Pohaku still with his giant belt in
Yeah.
like an advertisement for like, you know, a retired athlete that's opened up a sports bar and just Pohaku's bag of soup.
well, there's the title.
Write that one down, Jamie.
I think soup bag almost kind of sounds like a bit of an insult.
Yeah.
Soup bag over
Soup
here.
bag.
Shut up, you damn soup bag.
Yeah.
Oh. Man.
Now I'm just picturing like this oversized Ziploc bag with kind of straw in it. Just
With this change in schedule, not only does that between Siobhan and Marshall Bicker put at risk the distraction, it also probably changes when and where the trains will pass each other.
that it might. There's a very good chance that it puts that schedule no longer being congruous.
Right.
Great.
And if the things gone wrong, it is deemed our fault.
During this hour, Sapphire will be, cleaning and tidying up. She's really looking for Pohaku and either Mannix or Akira. And with basically needing to lay eyes on them, hopefully all at the same time, and establishing a psychic link with some of the party.
Well, Haku's really easy to find. Not just because he's probably still standing in that one exact spot, but well, he's easy to find considering his regular attire and said championship belt.
I'm very inconspicuous.
I guess Mannix and Kira, like, are you guys still hanging out in first class, drinking, shooting the shit, possibly gambling, or are you gonna wander out on the platform to stretch your legs a bit?
I would be just right beside Mannix, just
Sure.
doing the bodyguard thing.
Mannix is actually going to be attempting to chat up Miss Doolite.
Okay.
Just nothing overtly, just sees that she's got a contingency of suitors around her, and makes an offhand comment that he's definitely intending her to hear something to the effect of, "Oh, somebody's popular."
Yes, I am. Appreciate you noticing. Uh, your name?
Pardon my manners, lady. My lady is Mannix. Mannix Soul.
Ah, well,
Pleased to meet your acquaintance. I was a bit curious. What are you doing with this rabble around you here? They're cute and whatnot, but ah, I forget myself.
I'm gonna call this a persuasion check. Go ahead and make one. See how well you endear yourself to her amongst this other rabble.
So glad I have advantage on those. Oh God. 11.
11. I'll tell you what. Why don't you buy me a drink, and when I finish this one, we'll see how much of the rabble, as you put it, I have worked through. Maybe when I get to you, you'll keep my attention.
I will.
You haven't fully drawn her
uh,
attention away, but she hasn't given up on you yet.
To assist, I will quite loudly, well, not like quite loudly, but just to make sure she doesn't turn away before I finish this.
Mhm.
Well, Master Soul, I will go procure that for you if you would like. My lady, what would be your pleasure?
Something fruity and effervescent.
Well, it'll be difficult finding something as effervescent as yourself, but I will try. And I walk off to get a drink.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
That's fine. Persuasion is still a thing I'm fine at. What is math? And you said disadvantage? You said disadvantage, yeah?
Yes.
Then that is going to be a 16.
16? She doesn't quite a slight smirk. She's going, all right, little cheesy, but she'll allow it. And as you sit and listen, Mannix, you can tell she's going down the line of conversations, and she's quite the adept conversationalist. Just observing her, you get why people are so drawn to her. Jamie?
You say she's a cunning linguist?
Well, I mean, you got to buy her a couple drinks first, and you might find out. That's not something that's not something you learn right away, and certainly not on the first date. But she,
She's just like,
you asked. Don't blame me for that.
I don't know why you're all looking at me like we've never met before.
No, we know who you are, and that is part of why we adore you. But as she's going through the conversations, just not only does she have quite the tales to tell of places she's been, places she's traveled, individuals she's known, she's not coming off as braggadocious in all of these. They're relevant to any conversation at hand as she asks each suitor things about themselves and finds ways to relate to them. This is someone truly with a gift of gab.
While she's doing this, Mannix is definitely paying attention, and each time one of the suitors regales her with whatever, he makes not a comment, but he reacts, and he'll like a derisive snort, a badly disguised laughing under his breath, He might have been. Oh, you can't be fucking serious. But not trying to not be noticed, but quiet enough to make it seem like he's trying. This is more for them than for her, though.
She pays absolutely no mind to it. However, there are a couple, gentlemen who are more middle aged, a very, 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 very puffed shirt. You can see they bristle a bit at it and have to stumble to recover. A couple very young gentlemen that are just stepping up to the line, willing to shoot their shot, and they kind of stumble on their words a bit here and
Aw.
there. They're not used to having somebody with just. I'm not going to go so far as like simply to say, I guess you're cruel wit, and I feel like cruel's being a little overly harsh on it, but just that biting tongue where you're not going to make
Caustic,
it
maybe.
easy. Yeah, like not fully hostile, but certainly not feeling like it's your job to make any of them feel comfortable and welcome.
Ooh. One thing that I'd like to make sure
Yes.
is that Umbani is with Pohaku.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, is Pueo going with you then?
He certainly can. I just wanted to make sure that at least I had my familiar with you, so if something really, really bad happened, he could peck at your toe or something.
Yeah, up to y'all. I'm fine with the whole familiar swap.
Hey, behave. He flies over to you.
So, Garnet, you're able to get eyes basically on everyone but Kira and Mannix. Is they're well, make an investigation check because you just have to be able to see them, correct?
Yes, but I have to be able to see them all at the same time. So it's can I see three people at the same time?
Make an investigation check.
Oh, yeah. 9.
9. Yeah, you try and go outside for a bit and try and see if you can peer in through the first class car window to see kind of where they're at, but you think you see the general area where you think they may be, but there's so many people gathered around Lady Dewlight in this conversation that getting eyes on either of them is just not really doable.
Okay. I'll do the link with the other 3 then. So Siobhan and Reba and Pahaku, we have 5 hours of a psychic link. And you don't need me to initiate it. You can talk to me.
All right, so I'll Javon over the link will say, so I assume you all heard the announcement then?
Yeah.
Yeah, as Bicker pointed out, Bicker pointed out that this messes up the timeline of when we thought the distraction was going to be. And furthermore, it's going to mess up the timeline of when the trains are expected to pass each other. So I was
we're
thinking,
gonna get to where we needed to be earlier.
right.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it just might not be a jumping from one train to the other because the other train.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna go see if I could have a look around to see if there's something I couldn't do to slow the train down, but I'll let you know if I figure out anything I can do without drawing undue attention. And Siobhan wants to go where I'm assuming there are people working on the train, doing stuff.
Yeah, like just they're you got some folks who are doing sort of a once over on the outside, taking a gander, making sure tracks are clear, just double checking a few things. A lot of people who are staff are going in and out very quickly, taking out dirty linens, bringing in new ones, making sure that food is being loaded aboard for the next meal service. But everybody working is just going double and triple time for the most part as they thought they were going to have much more time than an hour to have this train ready to go. And yeah, you do see a fair amount of maintenance staff just given everything a very quick but very thorough once over to make sure everything is up and running proper. Is there something specific you're looking for that on that, or just taking an overall gander at everything?
Synchronic lighting. I am specifically looking for something mechanical. Like, 'cause I know it's magic run, but I'm specifically looking for, like, is there something mechanical that someone with someone who happens to have smithing knowledge could maybe f with. I'm just trying to see what I can see. Like, I don't know.
Sure, sure. Give me either a perception or investigation check.
Oh, okay. First roll. That's a 16.
16.
Perception.
So you do notice in particular the very last car, the caboose. You notice there was for it being a single and not very large car compared to some of the other ones, you feel like there's a pretty heavy number of maintenance staff going in there and looking it over, and you're able to get close enough to sort of peer in and just listening to some of the exchanges and conversation. You quickly pick up this is where a secondary braking mechanism exists within the car, where if the train needed to be stopped for some reason, something went wrong with the locomotive, something happened to the conductor, if the conductor was in the back of the train, as there's an office in the caboose for the conductor as well, there's a braking system that could be initiated from here, and they're just making sure everything is tip top on that.
All right, and I'm also specifically wanting to listen for if they're like kind of bitching to each other about the shortened length of time or anything that they're concerned about.
Oh yeah, you definitely hear plenty of just gripes and complaining. Not a one of them is happy about this needing to be done so quickly. Like you hear one person, I was supposed to have the evening off, but apparently I'm working overtime now just to make sure that the train can be on its way back to the Empire. Oh, right on time. No, I don't get to go home and have myself a little snack. No, get back to work, back to work. And I know, right? Always busy doing everything needs to be done at the last minute. Nobody warns us before the train gets here. It just stops and, oh, have it ready to go in an hour. Just plenty of griping as they just work at a frenetic pace to make sure that this will be ready to go on its new departure time. And you hear from, a fair amount of passengers as well that are frustrated, either folks who were hoping to get some shopping done while they were here, folks who want to do like a quick little sightseeing of, anything of interest nearby to the station. 5 or 6 hours versus 1 hour is a huge difference. Even some folks who were just hoping to find a little place to get lunch or an early dinner here, but is not to be, as this is to be on the tracks quickly.
Okay. So I report back to the others, like, there's some sort of secondary braking mechanism in the caboose that lots of attention's being paid to. That could be a way to slow us down once we get started again, if need be. And then just
That
otherwise, yeah,
is
act-
very good to know.
trying to act like a normal passenger stretching my legs.
Which you find quite easy to do as you just stretch your legs.
It's very good to know. Seems like the workers aren't very satisfied with it either.
No, no, I'm hearing a lot of complaining.
Interesting. Reba would like to approach the conductor. Go find whoever's in charge of the timetable here.
Okay. So well, you have access to the back portion of the train. You don't have access to first class and all that, and that's what connects to the locomotive. Give me an investigation check. Let's see if you can catch him when he's going out for a smoke.
How's a 3 do?
Not great.
Oh,
No, not at all. So you're looking about, and you ask a few folks, and they let you know that the conductor, Villark, he's not really known for going and banding about and socializing, particularly if he's on a tight schedule. They're going. He's probably in the locomotive, making sure everything's ready to go, set up, and this thing runs on Magitech, so he wants to make sure everything that he's operating is working good and proper. So yeah, finding him, not so much for you.
That's okay. I would like to go to the supply train area
Uh-huh.
and look for T-Song, Jalara.
Sure. Yeah, and you will find them like, oh, Mira, good to see you there. Do you want to make sure you have everything's looking good in the sleeper cars? Have you double checked them? Just want to make sure that's all going good and proper. After you check that, can you just make sure that all our guests back in the aft portion of the train, that they have any refreshments that they need, or anything like that?
Yes, sir, of course. That was absolutely next on my to-do list.
Appreciate it.
But
Appreciate it.
I have to point out, I know we're all staffed, and I just noticed I was under the impression we would be in hours, and that seems to have been shortened to 1. Do you have any insight on this?
Yeah, from what I heard, and they don't tell me everything, but uh, it sounds like our guests are, well, they're on a bit of a time crunch, and
All of them? Because some of the guests don't seem happy as well, and I am here to ensure happiness of all of them.
well, you're going to be here to help smooth out the happiness of some of our guests, because our military guests are on a time crunch, and while whether I like it or not, that's really beside the point and unimportant, as let's face it, they do pay the maintenance for making sure the rail stays working good and proper, and they do pay all our salaries when we think about it. So whether or not we like it that much, sometimes we just have to bite the bullet and get to work.
I understand that they have money to contribute to our enterprise. However, they are not the majority for which this enterprise serves, and I find it rather distressing that we can put so many others' needs, including our own employees, on the back burner because of a financially advantageous few.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I'll tell you what, we can bring that up at our next round of bargaining. It's definitely something to make sure that we speak up for as a union. But fact of the matter is, we're operating under the current contract. We have to stay under the current contract, and so we got the work to do.
Jalara, I did not want to bring this up, but I am in part here as a representative from the union, and I want to know whether or not the conductor is aware of how serious the repercussions for this may be if they do not go unchecked and unfixed in this moment while there is still time.
Make a deception check.
Thank you. All right.
Oh no.
What'd you get?
That's an 11.
You have that potion.
I do have the potion, but I forgot to say to drink the potion.
Mm.
I look. I hear you, but the fact of the matter is, if we're talking about you and your presentation, don't worry about that. I'm part of the bargaining team.
Oops.
I'll be making sure to bring this up, and I'll trust me, Mira. This conversation will be noted in detail when I bring this up at our next round of bargaining. So your words are going to carry weight. We have to go through the proper process. You know, as a representative, you know that. You know
Yeah.
that as well as I do. So trust me, I'll be bringing that up. Our conductor, Velark, he's very aware of the situation and how folks are not completely displeased, are not entirely pleased. And the fact of the matter is, I don't say this because I want to. I say it as just factual. Sometimes we're not always pleased with a day at work.
Of course.
There are good days and there are bad days. This just happens to be one of the bad days. But just because it's a bad day for us, it doesn't get to be a bad day for our guests. So we're gonna do what we can to smooth things over. I've already sent word to the kitchen. We're going to have a few extra refreshments brought into the standard passenger cabin just to help smooth things over a bit. Sounds like there were a few favors called in for first class for what the chefs gotten for them, and a little of that'll be distributed back to everyone else as well. I think we'll be barely an hour down the tracks. I think our guests will be mostly content. There'll be one or two that aren't, but let's face it, you can't please everybody all the time. All we have to remember is that sometimes things don't always go the way we want them to. Got to make the best of a bad situation.
I appreciate your optimistic attitude. I will strive to find the silver lining if you truly believe it is not worth approaching Velark in this moment. I'm happy to be an advocate if I have access to him, but if you do not believe it would be worth it, then there's nothing I can do.
I appreciate your diligence and your can do attitude. I will make sure everyone within our bargaining team is well familiar with the name of Mira Siobhan.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Now get back to work,
Don't
please.
doubt it for a second.
And they are going to get back to their duties.
Great. I'm gonna head to the sleeper car.
Okay.
I want to check, make sure the blankets and everything that he asked, and I want a car.
And you want to do which now? I missed that last part.
I just want to know who else is in the sleeper car, if anyone, at this time.
Right now, there are a couple beds that are being used in there. Nobody's actually asleep at this moment
Okay.
So
in there, largely because of the chaos, everything being, you know, strewn about. But there are a couple folks who are just kind of laying down and stretching and just, you know, somebody just sitting there in the bed reading. But the sleeper car looks fairly well stocked. You do see a couple beds that, you know, are missing pillows on there. You assume they were taken out for laundry purposes and just haven't been put back yet, but it's mostly taken care of.
Okay.
But you do see there are two other staff members who are in there working, and you see about 6 or 7 guests kind of about on some of the various beds, just stretched out, relaxing. They seem pretty chill. Probably folks that just they don't care when they get to their destination. They're gonna get there. You even hear some folks who are thrilled to be ahead of schedule. We're like, oh, get home sooner than I expected.
Okay. I guess that's it for me during our break.
Yep.
Whenever we're about to leave again, I'm gonna just duck into the bathroom real quick, chug the potion, and ritually cast detect magic.
Love it.
Just at the
Love it.
last second so I get the most time out of everything.
Perfect. Totally allow that. We get back to you. Anybody else for what they're doing during this short stop off in the city of Virtue?
Like to, I'd like to make sure that I make a show of getting Lady Delight that drink.
Make a performance check.
Abso-goddamn-lutely.
Yeah.
That is so close to being perfect. But that is a 23.
Nice. You don't, it's not just that you make a show. as she's turning to speak to someone, she's gesturing with her hand. As she extends her hand, at that moment, you just present the glass right in front of her. Oh, I do like you. Very nice. And
Compliments of Manic Soul.
well, my compliment to Manic's soul, then. And she skips over a couple folks she was going to talk to, and she does turn to you, Manix.
Oh.
So what exactly does bring you to this car on this day?
Well, I wasn't gonna ride coach.
No, I would guess not. Have you ever
Ridden
traveled coach on the
coach?
train? Yes.
I try not to think about it too much these days because it was a rather unpleasant experience.
Oh.
They only gave me one coffee.
A valid observation, I'm sure. I will. You're a young man. I won't hold that against you. But I will say, from someone who's experienced more than one of your lifetimes, the number of stories you can hear and learn in those environments are not to be overlooked. But one should also never give up the finer things in life if they do not have to. It is important for us to enjoy what we can while we can.
I think it's a wee bit easier to have that kind of a perspective when you have such an opportunity as yourself to enjoy more than most. I am incredibly blessed to have bestowed upon me as much wisdom as you're willing to share, my lady.
She stands up. Walk with me. And she extends an arm to you, and if you take it, she's going to head off towards the gambling car with you, and she gestures at you, Kira, with her glass to follow. And as the rest of the throng goes to follow her, she looks over at the pit boss, who is waiting near the door. It's like, Trisna, would you? And this hulking Firbolg female, and just again impeccably dressed in this suit, just steps in behind all of you. I think the lady's concluded her business with you all for now. Carry on. She will follow Lady Dewlight and you two into the gambling car. And it's around this time that you hear the whistle of the train call out. You feel the forward moment begin as the train begins to pull away from the city of Virtue. What do you all want to do?
At any point, did we notice any of the census members, or specifically Castian? Did we notice any of them walking about, or have they pretty much stayed in their car?
Most of them have stayed in their car. You've noticed a couple of them. Like there were some folks who came out of there, went up to the dining car, got something to eat, or would get some beverages. Some who carried them back. You haven't seen any sign of Castian as of yet.
And every time we've seen Castian, he's been traveling alone.
No, when you first saw him, he was traveling alone. But the second time
Okay.
You met
He
him.
had everybody.
Yeah, there was some other members from his squad that were there outside of the mine. You met, I believe,
Are
2
those
other
the
members
people
of
we're
his squad.
seeing now? Or are we
Um,
seeing more in addition to his squad?
You're seeing this is just more soldiers and census members in general. Like not every person the Empire is seeing is complete census. Some of them are just part of the Imperial Army. It's not uncommon for census squads to have their own sort of backup, if you will, for if they're not on something official. You didn't see any members of his squad in particular.
And we're sure he's on the train.
Haven't seen him.
Okay. Has there been any indication of these people, like how many military folk might be back there?
From what you've been able to glean, just looking over the car size itself, actually, give me an investigation check. Let's see how much info you pick up. Investigation or perception, your choice.
Oh, investigation 14.
14. Yeah. The exact number, not sure. It's one of those where you're like, well, more than 10, but less than 50.
How likely do we feel it would be that Castian would recognize any of us besides Kira?
Well, he laid eyes on almost all of you.
I forgot about that part.
Can take some extra things out of my disguise kit, and with the uniform, etc., we could try to go be executive staff.
Yeah. If I could just like have some, a little bit of different makeup, maybe a little bit of different hair or something to go with the uniform.
Like rub some charcoal or something in your hair to darken it, and yeah.
That's great. I don a little disguise. I grab the drink cart, and I go to the Castian office.
You're going to put on a little disguise?
Just a little one. Just go.
Garnet's going to do the same and help her with getting disguised.
Reba, go ahead. I want you to make this is a what's for disguise? We're gonna call this. Are you proficient with disguise kit, Reba?
Well, huh?
Are you proficient with disguise kit?
So Garnet's communicating to me, and I don't.
Oh, I'm just saying, I am.
Yeah, Garnet is, and she's the one who's disguising me.
Oh, actually, I'm not proficient. I just have it.
Yeah.
No, I'm proficient. I'm good.
Oh, good.
I just don't have expertise with it.
Okay.
Like my thieves' tools.
So, Garnet, for your disguise kit, go ahead and roll a d20. We'll call this charisma plus proficiency. You're disguising yourself. This is about knowing social things. Charisma doesn't always have to be talking.
Okay, so not like deception or anything specific, but just
No.
charisma. Okay. 16.
16. Okay. You feel like if somebody looked up close and they knew Reba well, it's not gonna fool them. You don't think it would fool any of you guys on a close inspection, but at a glance or someone who doesn't know her very well, yeah, you feel like she's fairly well disguised. And so Reba, you said you're gonna go get a like beverage cart and wheel that back through.
Yep.
All right. And then
Garnet's gonna make sure she's in the supply car, like right before where she is, in case she gets into any trouble.
And then what all are you getting on said cart?
I'm getting coffee. I'm getting tea. I'm getting fantasy soda, whatever the equivalent of that is.
Love it.
And like all of the, sweeteners and
Oh
half
yeah,
and
hell yeah.
half, and just
And
all that. Maybe even a little bit of mead.
perfect. And as you're loading this cart up with all of that, there's one individual in the kitchen, this kind of bleary eyed human is like, "Hey, you, um, where are you taking all that shit?"
I'm taking it to the offices of our military personnel. Are you trying to intercept?
Hell no, no. I just know. Hey, this is my kitchen, so just know your place. No, if you're taking it to them, a couple trays over there. They got, I don't know. We got some like fancy crackers, cheese, some shit. I don't know. I'm already like I'm dealing with shit. I got dinner to be finished. You need to be ready to go. Why don't you grab a couple of those trays, throw it on there, bring it back so they have snacks or something or whatnot. It'll keep the dinner rush down a little bit for me. Can you do that for me?
Yeah, chef.
I love it. And just don't say yes, chef. I know what the fuck that means. There are a couple of bottles of cheap wine down there. Grab those, throw them on the cart. They'll drink that. It'll amuse them to no end. And hey, I think there's a bottle of whiskey that's got only a little bit left in it. If that were to disappear and free up some shelf space, I wouldn't know anything about that. So uh, appreciate it. If you got any more stuff to bring back to them, let me know. I'm happy to load it down. I'm happy to keep them out of my kitchen for a little bit. Or
Roger that.
dining
I'll
car.
hold him at bay.
I need another drink. Yeah, great. Appreciate it.
He's in the weeds. He's in the weeds. He's in the weeds.
Oh yes. And so you have there's two trays just full of various like appetizers, beverages, whatnot. You wheel it back and you reach the door to their sort of barracks area, and the door is closed.
I knock.
As his latch peers open, individual is like, "Oh, they brought food!" You very quickly hear this ka-chunk, large. Yeah, no, hey, is that for us?
Yeah, what can I get you, gentlemen?
Oh god, sure. Dealer's choice. We were just talking about when we were gonna head up, for dinner. But oh wow, this is this is great. Thank you so much. Do we take the stuff off the cart for you? Do we need to return the cart? Like,
I've got it covered. So I start plating up little like charcuterie boards for everyone. And what would your refreshment of choice be? We have tea, we have coffee, we have some wine, a little bit of mead, we have all, the A, B, and C varieties of the tea and like all of that.
oh, I mean, if you're pouring out wine, that sounds great. I mean, well, you don't get to have any. You're still on duty. I'm off duty, so fuck you. I'm drinking wine. Yeah. Those of us who aren't currently wearing helmets are off duty, so we can have wine, and all the rest of them can all have tea. So yeah, and if you honestly, if you pour it out, nobody's gonna get you in trouble for any of that, because if they drink it, that's on them. So don't worry about anything for yourself. I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot. I was just hungry. Thank you. This
My
is really
pleasure. What
nice.
I'm here for, sir.
But man, I've been on these trips before. I've never had service like this. This is awesome. Um,
We do.
hey, hey, we just want to say, uh, everybody on this, just whoever you report to, please tell them everybody on this train's been so nice and so helpful. I know we put you guys ahead of schedule, and that's probably been a real pain in the ass for a lot of folks, and
I
really sorry about that.
I
If
trust that the reasons are important from such fine military personnel such as
uh,
yourself.
I mean, that's I certainly hope they are, but and I get it. It's got to be a pain in the ass for you. So like honestly and truly, like for you to bring this back here for this after that just happened, that really means a lot. Here, and he reaches into a pouch and he pulls out 3 gold. So here for you.
I absolutely take the gold. I
And-
thank you. That's very generous. And truly, I know better than to just place blame for a schedule change on the first person in uniform who appears. You don't seem altogether thrilled about it either. I
It's,
appreciate your sympathy with
I won't
ours.
lie. With my first choice, I was hoping to go do a little shopping. That's okay. Yeah.
Well, then why do you
Hey,
go shopping? Isn't that a part of your schedule and your day to day?
hey, duty calls. You know how it is, but that's all right. That's all right. I have some vacations saved up. You know, a little later this year, I'm planning on coming up. Gonna spend a couple weeks up in Virtue. Be great. Maybe go do a little hiking up through the hills near Stone Spire. It's
Oh,
gonna be
delightful.
awesome. But so yeah, if you want, we can bring all this stuff back up to wherever, like when we're done eating. You don't have to wait here. Like I don't want to pull you away from work. I don't want you to get in
No
trouble or
worries, sir.
anything.
I have to continue on with the cart to go to the offices further in the back, and I will collect things on the way back. I'll come in and check on you, period.
Oh, well, like is the office? I mean,
Yes, sir.
I mean, the man, he's been telling us he's on a real kind of do not disturb uh kind of thing. Like, you sure
I
that's a
can
good idea?
understand that and respect that. However, I do have orders from my supervisor to make sure that all of it is being met. And I have a feeling that when something is putting someone in such high position on such a time crunch, a little bit of food, a little bit of drink without having to get up and leave can go ways.
Make a deception check.
Please, 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 it fell on the ground. Shit. Oh god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I have to put my cat
The
off of my lap.
intensity.
This dice. Ah!
Oh, kitty. Just increases the drama for the roll itself. It's great.
Okay. Okay. 15.
15.
Oh! Yes. Is 15 okay?
You don't know.
I'm doing 15. I'm not using my advantage quite yet.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yes. Hey, if yeah, no, if that's you were told, just listen. It's between me and you. His bark's worse than his bite. Okay.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
like just you, and yeah, if he gets cranky, just don't take it personally. Okay.
With all due respect, sir, I work in the food service industry. Don't you worry with me. I know how to handle that sort of attitude.
You know, I bet you probably deal with so many pricks on a daily basis. I hope you just have a good day. I really do. You all work so hard. Like I really hope you have the day you deserve to have.
Right
Oh,
back at you. And may I just say, I will be absolutely thinking of you and sending good thoughts your way on that lovely vacation you
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, good luck.
had. Thank you.
They
And
will
I make my
let you
way.
on
I'm
through.
gonna take a quick second to let my cat out.
Sure. The drama
I
of
ain't
that role.
saying shit.
I know you are. It's great.
I ain't saying shit.
I see what you're doing, and I just like it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Alrighty, so you have reached the door to the offices, and well, yeah, we're like I said, I'm going to be a little generous with time here. Some of the time on your spell would have passed, but you would cast detect magic, correct?
Hmm.
You can see a aura of magic coming off of this door, particularly around the door frame itself, and then another one on the handle. You can tell the school of it is abjuration magic.
Okay. Fantastic. I knock.
Oh, who is it?
I have drinks and refreshments available.
Um, Unnecessary at this time, but I appreciate it.
Are you, just to clarify, no charcuterie, no tea or coffee, and no wine?
What kind of wine?
What kind of wine is it?
it's not very like the chef had told you it's not very good wine. It's
That's okay,
cheap.
but like, are we talking Merlot? We kept talking Cab Sav. Is it a white wine, a red
I,
wine?
I mean
Wine action?
it's a Merlot, so you know it's going to be disappointing.
I did
Oh.
best glasses of wine I've had is okay. It's a Merlot actually. This is an especially buttery Merlot.
I'm not going to lie to you. That sounds like the kind of thing I would drink on a dare. Um, I look. I appreciate you bringing this. I'm not trying to be rude. I do have access to the first class dining, and I have a reservation later this evening. So I was planning to dine then. Um, I assume everybody in the barracks could probably use food and refreshment, though. If you tend to them, it would be appreciated.
Yes, of course, of course. I will make sure that their needs are met. Although I assume they will be. If you don't mind me asking, what time is reservation? Because I do have some knowledge of when that dining train will be especially swarmed.
Oh, it's probably in about see, just departed. I'll be in about an hour. Oh, before you depart, and you'll hear a chukunk from inside. The door will open slightly, and you will see the unmistakable face of Castian Oloro. And he will reach out and he will hand you 3 gold for your troubles.
Of course, thank you, sir.
Yes.
I
Um,
will leave you be. First of all, do I see anything through the crack in the door? Do I see any more auras? Do I see anything that look like dossiers hidden about or good hiding place?
make an investigation check.
Okay.
Actually, we can call it perception because you're not like thoroughly investigating. This is just seeing if you can catch it as a glance. This is perception.
Yeah, that's so much better for me. Thank you. Because I have advantage on that. 19.
19. You have advantage on that when you have your shield on you, I believe. That's from your sentinel shield.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I don't have advantage.
Yeah, I don't think you're carrying your sentinel shield around.
Damn it. Okay.
She's
Give
using it as a
me one
tray.
more clean roll.
Yeah. Is it really? Did you just get another nat?
Oh,
So, quickly glancing,
Plus 4, 24.
love it. Looking, just glancing over his shoulder through the crack in the door, the light coming off the other magical sources in there is kind of what's helping illuminate everything to your eyes. The door on the opposite side does also have abjuration magic going around it, as well as there are 2 windows on either side of this cabin. Now, you can only see the 2 windows that you're looking in through, the physical door itself blocking the other side, but you can see rings of abjuration magic around them. You've got enough wits about you to assume the other side's probably the same. And then there's a desk in the center of the room, and you see there is some sort of large file or folder on top of it, some papers on it, and you can also catch at a glance that one of the drawers on the desk does have abjuration magic, though that drawer is currently open.
Awesome. All right. Reba's gonna take the money and sort of put on a show of like, like very, very much like, oh, fuck yeah, and just, sir, this is so generous. Allow me to make you one more offer in light of your generosity. I understand that the wine is not to your liking. You did seem interested in a drink. Please excuse my presumption. Would you like me to go access nicer whiskey that I know is available?
I
Just
mean,
while you wait for your dinner.
you make a persuasion check. Well,
Okay. I keep throwing my dice on the ground. Eh. 18.
18. You drive a hard bargain. I'll tell you what. If there is something decent and of the brown liquor variety that isn't too much trouble, I would very gladly take a drink right now.
It is my
Um,
job to foresee the needs of my pal. Trouble at all.
You're doing an exemplary job, and I honestly appreciate it. It's been a hell of a day.
My pleasure, sir. Turn around, head back to the kitchen to get the whiskey.
Love it. While doing that, what about the rest of you? What do you guys got going on?
What games of chance are available in the gambling car?
The most popular game of chance is it's a sort of a hybrid of like blackjack and poker, whereupon participants are dealt cards, and the goal is to have the highest accumulative card total. But only the person who holds the cards know what they have, and highest hand wins the pot. Because these are people with money, people with means, most of what's done is either betting confidently or simply bluffing that you have the best hand. But it's not the same as like a Texas Hold'em where you could see at least what's up there and be able to sort of ascertain what people might have. It's completely blind. But that is the most popular game being played.
That sounds like fun. Milady, perchance do you enjoy a good game of chance?
I enjoy a bad game of chance just as much as a good game of chance. By all means.
It's a sentiment after my own heart it is.
Oh,
Perhaps we
see-
should indulge.
I see a few chairs open. Shall we join? Or is your compatriot going to join us as well?
Oh, I insist. He had to pull up a
If you
stool.
insist. If you insist, I absolutely will. I do have to check on one thing as a matter of security, but it shouldn't take me more than a moment.
By all means, lad.
And what do you need
It
to
is
check
my
on?
job to keep you safe. And I'm gonna take just take a moment to run over to like find Brogel, catch Brogel's eye for a second, and slip a gold piece into his hand, and say, "Please let Castian know that because Manix seems to be chasing the Lady Dewlight, we are here on this train for the foreseeable future. If he needs an extra hand with whatever has made us speed up the timetable, do let me know."
I will get the word to him immediately, sir.
Because that is a wonderful cover for why we're on the train and why we might need to leave at any time, and I'm gonna fucking use it.
Love it. Love it. So I need each of you to grab a D8, a D6, and a D4. The hands are dealt out. The goal is to have the highest hand possible. The minimum bet is 10 gold. It's a 10 gold buy-in, I should say. So your ante is 10 gold. I would like each of you to roll your D8. Do not reveal the result.
Okay.
There are 3 other participants playing, including the lady, and current first bet goes to Mannix. Bet goes to you. You can bet any amount or you can pass. You must see the you must call whatever the highest current bet is to stay in the hand.
And everybody already has invested 10 gold, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there's the current pot is 50 gold.
Jesus.
Quite curious to see what the rest of y'all are going to approach this at. So I will put the onus on you, my friend. So whoever's after.
Okay. The next one will be the Lady Dewlight, and she will bet an additional 10. The player after her sees that bet. Player after that drops out. That's going to bring it around to Kira and then Mannix.
I will just stay in and call.
Okay. So it's another 10 gold for each of you. The pot is now up to 90 gold. Take your D6, roll that. Mannix, first bet is still yours.
Again, honors to the lady.
She will pass. Person after her is going to bet 20 gold. Pot's up to 110.
Kira will stay in and call.
Okay. Mannix, how about you? It's up to 130 total.
Discretion is often the better part of valor. So, Kira, you're playing with your money, right?
Oh, of course.
Milady, please take Kira's money. And I'm out.
Okay. She will call. The pot's at 150. That brings it to now roll your D4. The Lady Dewlight will bet another 10, bring it up to 160. Person after her will bet 30, bring it to 190 total. It is 30 gold to call, Kira.
Well, my lady, it is your job to take my money, apparently, and I will stay in and call.
Okay. That brings it up to 160, and she will pay the extra 20 to stay in to bring the whole pot up to 180. Kira, will you please read off what each of your dice say, starting with a D8?
7,
Ooh.
5, 4.
Oh.
And as the cards are revealed, the other player reveals a 5, a 2, and a 2. Very much out. And the Lady Dewlight, you reveal your 7. She reveals a 7. She turns over her small card, your 4, and also reveals a 4. She looks at you. Well, I'm very sorry to say, I think you're about to be very disappointed. You let him down and didn't take my money as she returns over a 4 where you had a 5. You beat her by 1 damn point. So you may add that 180 gold.
What?
You little shite. Giggling.
As they are cavorting.
Miss Dewlight, you'll see what I have to deal with on a daily basis with this one. Little booger.
No doubt keeps you on your toes.
I am,
Somebody certainly has to.
I'm apparently only good at the job of, protecting you from attackers and not from... I'm not very good at following your orders outside of combat, it seems.
Attackers in combat? Okay, both of you, we are done gambling right now. We have moved on to eating and drinking, and I want to hear everything about this. Join me at my private table. And she will whisk you two off to hear about this, as she's spoken to many suitors, but none who have talked about things such as combat. What are the rest of you doing at this moment? As we're about to have some interesting paths get crossed with where Brogal is on his way to. What's Siobhan up to?
Well, has I don't remember who I have links to, but
It's Garnet, Pohaku, and Reba.
okay. So has Reba informed the rest of us about what's going on her end? So when I hear about the when the scheduled time in the dining car is, I'm like, oh, are we doing this right the fuck now then? In an hour's time? Or do we have any way to get past whatever abjuration did you say it was?
Abjuration. I would recommend definitely trying to make our move. He's out dining. We can actually get him to run into Kira as well, get him distracted. That would be perfect. If you want another option, I could try to poison him. I've got some of that troll leaf from Gandos, and I could see if that does anything. But I feel like that's a long shot and like might be noticed and suspicious if I drug him.
Yeah, probably better to wait until he's out. How big's that cart you're pushing around?
Pretty big,
It's-
right? Right?
Yeah,
right?
it's decent size. Like it would easily hold like 2 large pizzas next to each other.
Does it have a bottom shelf?
Sure does.
Could you put a tablecloth over it and hide a little gnome?
Tablecloth is
certainly-
already over it, right?
You could certainly try.
In an hour, when he leaves, perhaps you could make sure right about before that you're back giving more stuff to the guards with the cart positioned right around the door, and maybe as he comes out, someone slips in.
I did promise to be back to pick up their plates.
Well, there you go.
I think I should. I told them I'd be keeping an eye on them. I can also make sure. Sorry, I gotta get the voice. I can also make sure that I've got an invisibility thing on you, if you'd like.
That would help.
The real bitch of it, I think, is gonna be getting rid of that abjuration magic. There's a bit of it in there. Not only is it on all the doors, all the windows, the door knobs, it's also on a particular drawer in the desk. So I assume that's the drawer I want to target. In fact, if you can like meet with me somewhere private, I can show you, because I can get some clairvoyance going on in there.
Get some clairvoyance up in this.
Kohaku, do you know anything about getting rid of magical wards?
Sounds like fun,
Magic.
but not in the way that you're asking me.
What did you say, Reba?
I've got dispel magic. That's the best thing I can think of.
That sounds like a good plan.
But I don't know how to get it. Well, actually, maybe I fucking do. Okay. I've got dispel magic. I can probably do that pretty subtly on the door itself, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it inside the room without going inside the room myself to get it on that drawer. Now, it is, let's see, I do have to see it. So if I could see the drawer through the window, I could cast it. Alternatively, I could potentially put a glyph of warding on like a cloth or something and have it be a spell glyph where I store a prepared spell. I could store dispel magic, and then if you touch the drawer handle with the cloth, it'll activate the spell.
So smart.
This is
I like it.
Siobhan
So
is-
there's a window into the officer's car?
Yeah, there too.
Nice. So that
I'm
could be an
pretty sure
escape
that's not
door.
how- I'm pretty sure that's not how glyphs of warding work, though. I remember trying to do this in another game where it's like the glyph of warding has to be on something stationary. So like if you move the thing that it's on, the glyph will stay where you cast it.
So The glyph can cover an
Unfortunately.
area no larger than 10 feet. If the surface or object is moved more than 10 feet from where you cast the spell. If I cast it right at the doorway
Oh,
and I just stay there while Garnet's
Cool.
doing her thing, then it should work.
I mean, it's worth a try.
oh, what if you you can't see this, but she's still doing it. Knocked something over, so you had reason to stay at the door for a moment because you're cleaning up the mess that you made. And also, if you did that, it would maybe cover any noise. Not that I think Garnet is such an amateur as to make any noise, but would cover any suspicious sounds that might come from inside the room.
I also have the spell. Well, we have the silent powder for Haku, and I have the spell silence as well.
Never mind, you're all well.
Waku just lets you know. Remember that the silence is just a small area, but hey, have fun with it.
Reba,
Bjorn, you've
wouldn't
got
it be-
yakety sax queued up,
Oh,
right?
man, so much. So much.
I'm also sorry. I'm trying to. Do you have the components for Glyph of Warding? It's not a cheap spell.
Oh, no, you're right. Shit, wait, what are the components?
200 gold worth of diamond dust.
So I'm going to be peeking through the window.
Because I love that spell, and it's really freaking expensive.
Jesus, I did not. Ugh. I need to get spell components.
Like I should just wait for the DM to notice it.
No, it's actually better that you say it because the thing is, I'll let it get all the way up to the moment where the spell would be
Okay.
cast, and that's even more inconvenient when you go, because that means you're ready. You've got the buying. You're doing it in the moment. I'm like, okay, so you're going to expend that component from your inventory, and then it's when they go, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, you pointing it out now is actually really helpful to them as they get to make a plan B. Because I'm ready to let plan A get all the way to the point of return and go, so you can't cast that spell.
Here's the other thing, which
Yeah.
is I would like. Oh my god, but I don't have that either. Do I have a focus worth at least 100 gold, like a jeweled horn or a glass eye?
Probably not. Like not unless you spent the time acquiring one slash making one. Like as a cleric, I imagine your arcane focus has been your holy symbol, and that ain't worth that much.
Does anyone have a glass eye I could buy?
I need that guy's eye.
Yeah, give me a second. Just
So you gave us that heist handout, Bjorn.
Yeah.
Does this fall under the good thing I brought this along just in case?
I don't think it does.
Damn it. Good thing I brought this. No, it's just a glass eye.
The thing is, because it specifically says it's a mundane item, and that's a spell
That's fair.
component,
That's fair.
I would say it could not qualify because it's being used for something not mundane. And
could
it's
be, and I
spell
knew it
it's
happened.
a spell component with a cost associated.
I don't find that unreasonable.
It could be an item.
Unless,
The clairvoyance is only going to be really useful if I can use it to just see the paper. You did say the drawer was open. I could try and get the clairvoyance ball inside the drawer since I was able to see an open drawer.
I'll put it this way: do you have 100 gold in your inventory?
Fucking
Like you Reba specifically.
I have 41.
Nope. If you had it, I would have allowed you to use the good thing I brought this along just in case to have expended the gold to have bought it. But
We couldn't use the party bank here.
up to you. If you want to expend your use of good thing I brought this along just in case, this allows for a flashback, a brief flashback where You could have asked the party, hey, before we leave Silent Gulch, can we get enough gold? Could have gone to the brass cloak and purchased this, but it is going to cost.
Do we have a party bank? Have we set up?
I think we've just been splitting it up.
I sort of just
I
assumed
think so
that meant
too.
party bank.
I
We-
don't know if we split it up so much as Garnet's just mostly kept it. Like that seems to have been.
Like
Yeah.
just like at the beginning. Garnet does have an onyx stone worth gem worth 50 gold. She would put that up as something you might be able to trade. If
I can give you 50 gold.
We don't know if this clairvoyant spell, it would allow us to maybe see the ledger. If the ledger is in that drawer, if I can do the into that drawer.
Now, I'm gonna say this is gonna be 100%. It sounds like they're willing to give you the money for it, Reba. This is 100% a Reba judgment call. Do you want to expend the use of, good thing I brought this along just in case, to spend the money to have purchased that in advance so you can cast this spell?
But we only get one backup plan. I don't want to take that.
You get one of each on that list.
What if? I think Pohaku would actually say this in character as he's hearing this conversation going back and forth in his mind, and he's just kind of like still trying to keep his eyes focused forward and not fidgeting, but his eyes are kind of like going, how far? Hey, Reba.
Yeah.
What if, what if we just like opened it, took it, and left?
I fucking love that plan. I want to do that. Day one, that would be my go-to. I don't know why we gotta hop on the roof of another train that's not even on the same schedule anymore. Like we're gonna get.
We could go to the other train. I don't know how far it is, or maybe we just, hitchhike back somehow or something. But the important thing was to get the dossier, right?
We should just take it and run.
So let's just get the dossier.
I love that plan.
I don't.
Ah, yeah.
Just as a counter example, we now no longer have a train to escape to, so we're counting on getting off of this train while it's moving and not hurting ourselves. We don't know how long it'll be before the theft is noticed, and we would be trying to get away with no means of quick transport and going up against somewhere between 10 and 50 census members and members of the army and whatever security there might be on the train.
But are they gonna be faster than us? Like, what if we went really fast?
How far away is the hunter station?
It's a good few hours down the track. Like, and it's far enough that, I mean, you could travel back on foot. It's going to take a couple while, probably take a couple days to make the journey on foot.
So if we're waiting an hour and we're doing the heist an hour from now, then it's a couple hours before we could get off the train at that station.
Yeah.
Okay.
I cast tsunami.
Well, why didn't you say? That works indoors every time.
Yeah.
Next campaign, I'm not letting you play a spellcaster.
So what spells do you want to do, Reba? Let's maybe rewind back to that, because I still think we're going in
Okay.
sneakily somehow.
Yes.
If we can empty the room of the officers while Castian is out to dinner.
We could potentially try to convince them to go get dinner at the same time Castian gets, and just go to the dinner cart. Tell them it's happy hour or something. What we can do once we get there, what I can do, I think, I can turn you invisible. I can dispel the magic on the door and the doorknob. If I can see the drawer, I can dispel magic on the drawer. Actually, dispel magic is 3rd level. I only have
Sure
2
is.
spell slots for that.
Yeah, you do.
So
Don't worry about the invisibility on me.
the invisibility doesn't take a spell slot. Or yes, it does, but it takes a 2nd level spell slot. Dispel
We've got more people who are capable of also casting additional things. Maybe we could see if they have ideas too. And I say this in my head, and then I feel Mbani kind of dig his claw into my shoulder a little bit. And oh, right. Hey, Yura. So here's the situation. And I will
can't
give
hear
him a
you through
synopsis
Mbani
rather
unless I
than
know.
replaying everything we've just talked about here.
Cool.
I can't
of
hear you
what's
through
going
Mbani
on.
unless I know to take his senses.
Oh, you can't. So I'm just talking to Mbani for a little bit then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, that bird's a good listener. It's fine.
Yeah.
Great listener.
Well, so wait a minute. So, oh hell, how does find familiar work anymore? I don't even remember.
Well, it's because Mbani can send me a feeling, but we never established a code because we forgot to do that.
Yep.
Well, I'm wondering if I'm just trying to. Okay, let's see here. Is my familiar within 100 feet of me? Is Pueo within 100 feet?
Definitely not.
Okay. So yes, I'm just talking to a bird for a little bit.
It's not, hey, sometimes you have to.
Is it the same executive staff uniform to go into 1st class as it is the military?
Nope.
Have we seen what uniforms they're wearing?
Oh yeah, theirs is it's much fancier, like almost more like a suit with a coat with tails.
Garnet would like to try to pilfer one of those from the supply closet, should there be any.
And you looking through the supply closet, these uniforms are not kept in this part of the terrain. You're guessing they are probably kept up front, as the 2 staffs don't really blend and cross paths a whole lot. The only area where they both seem to ever end up at the same time now and then is the kitchen.
We could tell.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we could tell Jalara that the 1st class staff members are severely short-staffed and that you need.
Yeah, you could say we just came from the kitchen and they're freaking out about something.
I'm just gonna. Well, hold on. I don't know that. No, that's probably not gonna work either. Can I just tell Mbani to go back to? Can I just tell him to go back to you?
Yeah.
So I've been talking to this bird, and nobody's responding.
Mhm.
Fuck. Hey, trying to tap him. Go back to Kira. Tell him everything I just told you.
You hear a couple of voices coming from the kitchen. What the shit? It's just this bird goes tearing off through the train.
I was kind of hoping you would bamf and then bamf, but this is way better.
Nope.
Oh, because I have to be the one that initiates the teleport.
You have to initiate the bamf. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Just a little fucking roadrunner going through the train.
I do also have to bring with 2 Castian ASAP.
Around this time is when Brogal actually you see this very finely dressed half orc just confidently striding through the passenger cabins, whatnot. No, yes, pardon me, excuse me. And he is going to relay said information to Casty. And it says like you two, Reba and Garnet. I'm pointing your quadrants on here as if they're the same on the actual broadcast. They're not, so where I'm pointing
I'll
doesn't
tell you,
matter.
Bjorn, everyone is to the left of you, so you could just point to your left and be fine.
You guys. So you said you all were going to go find Jalara and try and plead the case that first class needs more staff.
That was an idea to at least get one of us up there.
Garnet's doing that. I'm bringing whiskey to cast.
Okay.
Unpoisoned whiskey.
So as you are coming back, you had passed, you saw this very well-dressed half orc pass you on your way back to the kitchen. And then as you're coming back with said whiskey, you do see said half orc again with Castian not far over his shoulder, actually following along.
Shit.
Oh, I immediately notify Garnet out of the office. Castian is out of the office. I guess if I run into Castian, I'm gonna offer him whiskey that I have for him. Oh no. Okay.
Don't worry, he sees you first. And
Fantastic. He sees me. I would like to make a motion as if, would you like me to drop this off at your quarters, sir?
I'm sorry. No, that actually won't be necessary. I have some business to attend to. I thank you for all your here. He's gonna hand you 2 more gold for your efforts. I appreciate everything you've done. If I need anything else, I will make sure to have word sent. And I'm sorry. What was your name?
Mira, sir.
Mira. I will make sure that glowing commendations are given to you for all your efforts. Thank you so much. I really must go quickly. You said he was this way? Thank you. And they will just turn on their heel and start heading off through the kitchen towards the first class section.
Okay.
Well, if we're going to do this, we do this now. So let's at least go back there and see what the situation is.
All right.
Plan A, Plan B.
Pohaku.
Plan C.
Pohaku and Siobhan, you said the kitchen is kind of between the first class and the regular. And the gambling is the gambling just for first class?
Correct.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because gambling, first class dining, kitchen, regular dining.
Do we have any idea if can either of the birds cast dispel magic? Can they fly by the window and do that? Is that something these guys do?
Is that a thing?
Not really.
Damn it.
You hear from Pohaku, that'd be a neat trick. I'd like to learn that.
Excellent. As
This is when we dream of Pathfinder.
All right.
Well, hold on. I have something. I believe. Well, it's a good thing we planned for this. I would like to do a flashback where I actually contacted Swiftquill, made contact with Swiftquill on the in our cart in our standard class.
Absolutely, that falls under it. So, not too long back, it was while you were actually stopped at Virtue. You're outstretching your legs. You saw what you thought initially was somebody from first class, dressed very ostentatiously. But then, at a second glance, realizing, no, this is a unique fashion. This is something somebody cobbled together and looks brilliant. And as you get closer and they turn towards you, you notice the one red and one white eye on this black furred tabaxi. Well, if you're going to stare, take a picture. It'll last longer.
I beg your pardon. I think we have a mutual acquaintance.
Oh, do you? Is this good or bad, and are you going to say I owe you money? Because if you're going to tell me that, I already paid.
I smile and say, say, try not to startle. And then quietly, I say, try not to startle. And then in his head, I say, Marshal Vicker sends his, Marshal Vicker sends his regards.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm beginning to stifle out here. All this open air gets me feeling a little musty, hard to breathe. Wouldn't it be far more comfortable inside where we could have a drink?
Out loud, I say, I say, yeah, let's have a drink.
And so over a chat and a beverage, you make contact with Swift Quill, who's just here on their own business, but a good ally of Vickers, and let you know, well, ally of Elijah's an ally of mine. Well,
So
if you
yeah,
need anything, let me know.
so I just kind of, I don't remember if Vicar told us that Swiftquill knew anything about the plan at all, or just they were there and might be able to help if need be.
Call him B.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, what I'm going to tell them is that is basically um, uh, this unexpected speed up in the travel is disrupting our plans, and we are likely going to be having to improvise something at a moment's notice. And if I could please call upon you for assistance should the need arise.
With pleasure. Whatever you need, let me know.
All right. So, doodle-doo. Well, good thing we already made that contact with Swiftquill, and so they can help now with what's happening. So I'm gonna say to everyone. So here's my thoughts. I'm thinking it's a good possibility we're gonna have to be getting off this train quicker than we imagined. I personally am gonna head back to the caboose and see what I can do about having a swift, unexpected stop. And I'm going to ask. I think I'm going to ask Swiftquill to assist in whatever way they may be able. And and then so I say, I guess I don't need to be personally connected to Papaku since we're both on the Reba network, not Reba, Garnet network. And I will say to Swiftquill in his head, it's like it's your friend in the sunglasses. That emergency situation we discussed earlier appears to be happening.
Lovely. What do you need?
Oh, well, it depends entirely on whether or not you know how to dispel magic. Not your specialty.
Not really. I'm a bit of a thief by trade, but also hired blade. I can pick a lock. I can.
Well, that would help. And I quickly tell them that I need to get to the caboose, and I'm planning to do this on the outside of the train, and so I might need a help with a quick exit through a window or a door that was otherwise locked.
I'll do you one better than that. I can help you get onto the exterior, and you're going to need a little bit of a distraction.
Distraction was my first thought, yeah.
Well, I've always been told I have a bit of a flair for the dramatics, so time to put my skills to the test. They're never going to let you past the rear cars in this thing, not without the proper credentials. So why don't we get you outside just past the sleeper car, and I'll raise a bit of a ruckus.
Thank you very much. And assuming I don't fall off the train to my death, drinks from me the next time we meet, friend.
I'll take you up on that. And so the two of you will go to where the sleeper car and the supplies cars meet. And a small window at the back section of the sleeper car, but not so small that you couldn't fit out it. Siobhan, Swift Quill will give a bit of a look out and pops the latch on it, pushes it open. This is your best chance. Nobody's coming. Get on the outside, and when you hear the commotion, that'll be your best chance to move along the top.
Do we know that a distraction is about to happen?
I
I'm
don't-
going to tell you as soon as we figured out the plan, I would relate it to the rest of you. Well, here's what we're doing. So,
Both Pohaku and Phoenix ask, I'm sorry, but what exactly is the plan? I thought we weren't jumping off the train.
I'm getting in position to stop the train if need be, so we don't have to jump off.
While we have a distraction, in order to let someone travel on the outside, Garnet, does it make sense for you and I to also travel on the outside? Would you be able to pick the lock and go in through the window if I dispelled the magic on the window and then dispelled the magic on the drawer? That would use my 2 third-level spell slots.
I think that's our best shot.
Yeah, because the problem with the door is that it has an extra spell on the handle and on the frame.
Yeah.
So, but if we can go through the window, that's 1 spell slot on the window, 1 spell slot on the drawer. You can be invisible the whole time so that no one even sees you go in. Do we want to do that?
Sure.
If you
All
want
right.
to come by, I can also make sure that the two of you are, as long as, if we can find somewhere to come meet up, and I'll try to be super subtle because I want to be inconspicuous. I'm actually getting a little bit of a cramp in my leg from staying here, but that's okay. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for this team. But if I got up inconspicuously and found you all, I could enhance one of your abilities for both of you if that would be helpful.
I think
Otherwise,
that's a great idea, Pohaku.
Otherwise, if it would also be helpful, because I can only do one or the other since I have to think about them real hard, but I could do that, or for one of you, I could make sure that if you have to be outside, you're not going to fall off.
I could also enhance Garnet's abilities, but I would not be able to turn her invisible at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of concentration happening here. Yep. So basically, I can give both of you an enhance ability on a specific stat, or I can give one of you spider climb to make sure that you're able to stick.
I would rather Garnet get some sort of either spider climb or enhance ability, because
I think I'd prefer a spider climb.
Okay.
Just if I'm going to be on the side of the train trying to open a window.
So fine.
I can do that.
Okay. Let's meet up between the sleeper car and the supply, and Garnet's going to try to pilfer a staff jacket for Pohaku. And give that to him
without too much trouble. You've gotten pretty good at figuring out where stuff is.
Pohaku, I want you to put this or keep this, and I think maybe if you put this on, you could go back into the kitchens and maybe through the kitchen and help out in the gambling area. I don't know, but it really seems like we need to get a hold of our other friends and let them know what's going on.
I have another idea.
Okay.
I look around for another person on the wait staff. Can I find one?
Make an investigation check.
Yes. Dirty 20.
Cool. Yeah, you just see somebody who's on part of the just general wait staff.
I am going to scribble out a note and
Uh-huh.
hand it to them. I have a friend up in first class. Can you please deliver this to them?
Yeah,
It's very, very important.
look, man, I can hand it off to somebody who works up there and see if they can deliver it. I'm not, I don't actually have access up there. Who does this need to go to? And
I describe Mannix for him.
okay, yeah,
You know, nobility. If they don't get there, I mean, they get real cranky.
no,
So
yeah, hey, I hear you. Like I said, just sort of not my area. It might take a minute because I'm gonna have to wait till somebody up there comes into the kitchen to get the handoff. But I'll do what I can, man. It'll get there. I just can't promise it'll be super quick.
I hand him 3 silver. Would this make it go any quicker?
You bet your ass it will. Yeah, man. I'll do that. I'll do that next.
Great. And I put the handful of other coins away.
You didn't know. You didn't know.
He's getting better. I love it.
Good job, Kohaku.
I totally didn't think that was going to work, but hey, I'll take it.
No, I mean, three silver. That's a decent tip there. Yeah, like you should, that would not have worked up in first class, but here, like, you just gave the guy a few bucks. He's like, okay, yeah, man.
And it'll basically just be like, yeah, you need to speak with Garnet and Reba.
It's going to take him a minute to get that up there.
Boy, trying to figure out all of these magical ways that I can get in touch with you, and I could probably just ask a guy to like bring you a note that says what we need you to do.
Sometimes it's just the simplest
Amazing.
solution. Just wait, we're on a train. Hey, can you please deliver this for me? Here's a tip. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Reba, let's get in position then.
Yeah.
All right.
This is
When you're ready, I will spider climb on you. That is good for an hour.
I'm assuming that just happened, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So Swift Quill is here with the four of you, Siobhan, Reba, Garnet, Pohaku. So whatever you guys are doing, the window has been popped. It's ready to go, and he's keeping an eye out. It's like, whatever you're gonna do, you may want to do it pretty quick. Some folks are heading this way.
All right, I cast invisibility on Garnet.
Okay.
23 as a gecko.
Gecko
So,
climb. Yes.
Yeah, Garnet has no problem just scurrying right outside. You're moving along the exterior of this. You will have no checks to stay on top of this, even moving car to car, no problem. Reba, are you going outside?
Yep.
Siobhan, you're going outside? Cool. So I need both of you to make either athletics or acrobatics checks to climb out this window and up on top of the train itself.
I will assist one of them.
Not me, because I got a 19.
I was gonna say I would. I
I
probably won't
will
need it, since
offer
I'm-
the help action to Siobhan.
Okay, thank you. How does help work?
You get
Roll
advantage because he's
Okay.
helping balance you as you climb out of the window.
Okay, in that case, I got 25.
So with Pohaku's help, like it's almost poetry in motion. Just like he gives you a bit of a boost. You partially climb out. You nod to him. He gives you one last boost, and you fully just roll and flip up and land right on top of the train itself, almost silently, despite your muscular frame. Reba, you climb up and you're on top of the train fairly effortlessly. Pohaku, what else are you doing here in this area?
This is the kitchen.
No, you are
Oh.
back near the supplies train. You're at the very back end of the sleeper car.
So how many cars am I from my original starting, like from the passenger car?
You are 2 cars away from that.
When what is in between us? There's
There
the
is
sleeper
the
car,
sleeper
and
car
then
and one of the 3 passenger cars. I had you in the middle one because there are 3
oh,
passenger
okay.
cars.
I will just check in with Garnet, and actually, I guess all 3 of you are up there. So yeah, we'll just check in. Is there anything else you need with me, or I'm going to go back to being inconspicuous?
I'm gonna say, yeah, you remember those nice cards you just got? If
Hmm.
if we tell you that we need another distraction, maybe just throw a couple of them down.
Cool.
Right?
Now, Bjorn.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm torn on that. Now that I know that these are illusions.
Yep.
If I now we're getting into relativity here. Is the illusion static to the train or static to the ground?
Depends on where/how you throw them. I'm not so pedantic with things where I go, you're on a moving thing. So it wouldn't
Okay.
say that, because then by that logic, because of the way planets move through space,
Okay.
like there are ways where that can be different, and we'll get into those if they happen. But
Okay.
There
yeah,
are ways, dude. You don't
But
want
generally, I could count on if I were to throw a card inside of the train, the illusion would stay inside of the train.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Then, yeah, Siobhan, here's a mental. Yeah, I can do that. Cards, right?
That's one of
Wonderful.
those technically things that if you do as a DM, nobody's actually having fun, and it's just a shit thing to do. My personal opinion. Like, it's a
Cool.
game. It's supposed to be fun, and I'd rather see what you can do with a deck of illusions than go, haha, your illusion's now that way. So cool. You are heading back to the passenger car. Not long after you leave the sleeper car, you 3 who are on the exterior of this car, you've just moved off of the sleeper car onto the supplies car, and you hear a noise coming from inside the sleeper car as you hear this whoosh. Trevor! I can't believe I caught you in here with her. Didn't I say I never wanted you to see her again? And you hear this, who the fuck is Trevor? And you just hear this loud smack as a fist fight has clearly started, as Swift Quill very clearly pulled open one of the sleeper cars, found 2 people sleeping, woke up the gentleman, and has started fisticuffs. So you have that distraction currently.
That is not what I thought Swiftquill was gonna do.
What'd you think he was gonna do?
Not that.
I don't know, but not that.
It's a pretty good distraction, isn't it?
We have no choice but to stand.
I will need from 2 of you on the exterior either an athletics or acrobatics check for moving from the first car to the second.
I'm assuming the 2 of us that are not Garnet, because
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Garnet's the Geico Gecko right now. She's no problem.
that's a 12.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, no problem. Like, it's the gap isn't that big, and you 2 are both quite strong. Like, you're able to leap across, and you're helping each other balance. And well, actually, I don't need that yet. Kira, Bonnie has arrived back to you. And not long after this, you see the head of hospitality, none other than the half-orc Brogal, come striding out of the kitchen with Castian just right over his shoulder. Well, good evening.
Hello, sir. I didn't think you'd just come straight out here. I just offered an extra hand if it was necessary.
When is the last time we had a meal together, son. It's been too long. And he turns to Lady Dewlight. Apologies for interrupting. A long family friend that I haven't been able to socialize with enough in too long. So, a friend of his is a friend. Pull up. I have an entire private booth. Pull up a seat. Enjoy. Dine with us. I'm paying. Get whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. It's just money. And shortly after that, this very confused looking member of first class, looking for a Mannix. Can somebody was like, oh, it's the loud dragonborn over there. Oh, hey, Mr. Mannix.
Not to be confused with all the quiet dragonborns in this car, please and thank you.
He looks around. There are about a half dozen dragonborn in here. And he goes, right. Anyways, this was sent to you. He will hand over the letter that Pohaku scrawled.
I'd like to know what this letter says.
Maddox looks at it.
It just says,
Kira, read this for me.
You need to talk to Garnet and Reba. But you guys are already outside. I didn't realize this was all going to be happening so quickly.
Yep.
So there you go.
So
This is great.
I will look at the letter and lean over to Mannix and just
Pardon me. As I say that,
Yeah.
I contact Kira telepathically. Buy us some time, figure out what we need to do. I'm gonna pretend like I've got no clue what's going on. Kira,
Yep,
read this
absolutely.
for me. I'm crying out loud.
yeah, of course.
I
of
don't
course.
have time for this. I'm playing this terrific dice game that I'm just rotten at.
Don't you worry. It's just a note letting you know that your favorite coffee will be prepared shortly.
Make a deception check, Kira.
Absolutely. Oh, yup. Whew, okay, let's go. Oh, thank God I'm a charisma caster. That's a 24.
24. Okay. You did beat Castian's insight. Not by a lot, but you did.
Yep. Okay, fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
He's still on the coffee thing.
Yep.
How do you drink your coffee? You drink it the boring way, don't you?
I suppose I do. Lord Saul. Though I have tasted a couple of very interesting roasts recently. You know, why don't I have your family come by for well, instead of afternoon tea, we'll do afternoon coffee for you. We'll have you over soon. You can sample some of what I was able to purchase. A very, very, very unique blend. I think you'll enjoy. Quite robust.
While this conversation is going on,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try to that note that was just given to us. I'm going to try to drop it on the ground. I'm going to spend, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to spend a couple sorcery points to subtle spell, cast Mage Hand, to write a message on that piece of paper while it's on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Nice. I'm going to call this an Arcana check.
Okay. That is, let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Nice. Yeah, you are actually impressing yourself a bit with this, where you've never attempted anything like this before, but when the chips are down, sometimes impressive things happen. Yeah, you are writing this note. No one the wiser.
And it will say, Castian is with me. I will keep him occupied as long as I possibly can. And then I will mentally tell Umbani to grab the note
Okay.
and run it to Pohaku.
Okay. Meep. Flies down, grabs it, and just flies off into the kitchen. You hear it again. What the shit? This bird! um, Cassie looks you curiously. That's hilarious.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make your own fun.
And you can see like the Lady Dewlight is just very tickled by this, going, I don't know what I was expecting on this train ride, but you two are just delightful. This is all kinds of fun. Well, that bird will get to Pohaku very shortly here. I do need a couple dice rolls here out of. First, we're going to start with Reba and Siobhan. I need another athletics check. This one is getting you on top of the soldier car.
Oh,
13.
Nat 20.
Nice.
for 27.
27. That's going to help you on the next roll then, as you have this moment you're about to jump across, and then you remember, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't let my heavy boots land on a car full of people. And you actually hop down, and as you're going, you grab the edge of the next car, kind of let yourself descend, and you full on just do a muscle up to just lift yourself and land softly onto the car itself, both ways using your momentum to cause as least sound as possible. Siobhan's friggin' yoked. She can do this. Reba, you get across fairly effortlessly. And Garnet, no roll for you needed on that. However, I do need all three of you to make stealth checks to
Oh, no.
sneak across this car without being noticed. Siobhan, because of your natural 20 on the previous roll, I'm going to give you advantage on this roll.
Well, that will just cancel out my disadvantage that I naturally have on stealth.
And I'm invisible, right?
Yeah.
You would have an advantage. Well, you're invisible, but this is sound. So this is going to be a
This is
straight
sound.
roll for
Okay.
you.
All right. Well, tell me if I fail it, and I'll add a side eye.
Do we get to know the DC beforehand or no?
Nope.
26.
Nat 20.
Casey's on fire. I love this.
Hey, what?
It's these dice. They're the best.
I know. What'd you get there, Siobhan?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, you are all fine as you sneak across very, very quietly. And in fact, Reba, you're used to sneaking around, especially considering your background. And you're actually, as far as this whole sneaking about, this is not Siobhan's forte. So you actually point out a couple good spots for her to step, and you kind of give her a real silent, follow me. And you just go slightly ahead of her. And Siobhan, you just follow right in her footsteps. All of you, dead silent across that. And I need one last acrobatics or athletics check from both of you as you are going to go from the military one onto the car that was Castian's office.
Spider orc. Spider orc. Spider orc. That is a 19 plus 2.
You're fine. What'd you get, Siobhan?
30, 20.
220. Nice. And no problem for Garnet. All three of you are now on top of this car, knowing this is your quarry. It's about this time. Beep, beep. This roadrunner comes flying up to Pohaku with this note informing that Castian is with Kira. Kira's going to keep him busy as long as possible.
I relay that on to the three of you right away. How's it going?
We just made it onto the office.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks for the sticky gecko. This is great. I want this all the time.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
Sean sends a secret private message, using her thing, just to Reba, and being like, "You're seeing this shit, right?"
Are we in for Can we hear the conversation?
I think
was
you're
com-
saying, can you hear the conversation between Bohaku and Garnet? No, it's basically the Garnet relay system or switchboard as
Gotcha.
she's like, receiving and giving all the messages.
Okay. In that case, I just respond to Siobhan. I'm just like, the shit about how fucking awesome we are right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming always that I don't fall and die. I'm gonna need you to back me up when I tell me brothers, because they won't believe how fucking cool this was.
This is the coolest shit we've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that like having some sort of picture or video would be evidence that could be used against us.
No, I know it's time for a selfie. Hanging on the train.
Truly.
All right. So you are aboard the car that is Castian's office. If you peer over the side, you can see the two windows which are shut on either side of the car itself. There's a door at the front and a door at the back. What is it you would currently like to do?
Step 1, I cast Dispel Magic on a window.
Alrighty. So, and I believe, is that a touch spell?
Dispel Magic is a sight spell, I believe, but let me check.
120 range.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, I believe this is the first time you've cast it. What does your Dispel Magic look like? Describe the spell for me.
Oh, what's gravy?
Goes
Dispel
on
Magic.
turkey.
You know, I think Dispel Magic, for a second, everything looks like a stone, like a gray weathered, like just like that gray weathered tombstone look. Nothing's written on it, but all the material it's affecting looks like it's like that window would have a frame of stone instead of wood for just a second, deadening all the magic inside of it.
So you watch as Reba extends her hand, her holy symbol beginning to emit that just dull glow that you've seen so many times before now. And this magical energy comes off of her hand, begins to coalesce around one of the windows, the frame of it starting to glow brightly for a second and then dull into this stone. And as that spell coalesces, we'll pick up there next time.
Oh, okay, it's fun. Everything's fun.
So we will see what all happens after that. The spell on this window dispelled. It still closed. We'll see what that is. But three of you are on top of the office car. Pohaku stuck somewhere in the middle, getting this roadrunner flying to and from him. Mannix and Kira having a lovely dinner with the Lady Dewlight, and Castian Aloro himself sitting there, hopefully none the wiser of everything going on. I'm looking forward to see how this heist continues. Will the theme for it be Mission Impossible? Will it be the Pink Panther theme? Or will it simply be Yakety Sax? Who knows? I know where my money is. Let's face it, you already have a Tabaxi who start a fist fight with a random person in a sleeper car to give you guys a distraction. And
so, Pink Panther confirmed.
Right now, it's more Pink Panther than Mission Impossible. It hasn't gotten to Benny Hill yet.
It's more feeling Master of Disguise, honestly.
I mean, we'll see where it ends up, but that is for another time. Thank you all for joining us, and I really can't fucking wait to see what chaos awaits.